What's up, bro?
Oh, not a terrible lot.
That's good. That's good.
Just looking at some of the Warhammer 40K pre-orders they put up. They put up the rest of the Leagues of Votann line.
I have no. I don't know. Warhammer
40K.
I actually just this weekend, like yesterday, I used to play this game Warhammer 40K Dawn of War.
Okay.
It's like an RPG, PC RPG.
Yeah,
and I busted that shit back out on Steam. Man, that's a good damn time.
Yeah.
Man, I love me some RTS games, man.
Yeah, well, the tabletop is introducing a new faction to the game called the Leagues of Votann. 30 some odd years ago, the leagues would have been referred to as
there's a story. There's lore.
There's lore. They would have been referred to as the Squats, and then the Squats disappeared.
Sounds racist as fuck.
It was. The Imperium is very racist.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, they aren't the good guys.
But nobody's a good guy in Warhammer 40K.
That's the best part.
There's no good guys in Warhammer 40K. There's just varying degrees of evil.
Yeah. There's no such thing as innocence.
But I actually would probably argue that the Leagues of Votann may be among the most decent races in Warhammer 40K.
They're very moral, considering everything.
Well, considering that
was a weird point to come into a conversation. They're talking about the decency of some races.
We're talking about in Warhammer.
Yeah, I think I get it, but you know, that was a weird first thing to hear.
Oh, sure, right. The thing about Warhammer is there are no good guys. You know,
there are
terrible.
Oh yeah, it's total. What's the term for it? Not nihilism. Grimdark. It's total Grimdark.
Okay, sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
Well, the Votann are probably the least Grimdark. They seem to be generally kind of nice good guys. Or at least decent.
That makes them even worse.
Well, the Tau are essentially space communists.
Oh no, they're straight up. Yeah, they're straight up Empire from Star Wars.
Yeah, and then
shit like that, dude.
And then like the Votann, they're like a human offshoot, but they have a more advanced technology than the Imperium.
I love it how
they're kind of like capitalists in a way.
I love it how they have
and they're very progressive.
They have the Space Marines, and then they got like the Dark Space Marines. Like it's even worse.
The Chaos.
Space Marines. It's even worse.
They
Andy chiming in
from the light of the Emperor.
40K is dope, dude. I mean, the reason 40K is so dope is because it's all the things. You want to play a game? Okay, we can play a game. You just want to collect cool figures? You can do that too. How about, do you like to paint? Feel free to go ahead and paint. And then there's video games, books, comics. There's fucking everything. It's all inclusive. And
it's been a very interesting.
You can have everything except for a feeling of catharsis or any sort of happiness at all.
They had Toy Joy come out with like their 2023 preview for the Warhammer 40K line, and it looks phenomenal.
Those are like the little taller ones, right?
Those are actually like, almost like, 6-inch tall action figures.
They're not quite that big, but all right, let's do it. Do we want the happy Halloween one or the horror Halloween one? We're going.
Why not both?
Horror Halloween.
We're going horror.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, the longest intro.
May God be with you all.
It still kind of fits with our theme. Like you're about to have a terrible time. Okay.
Oh, is this like The Purge?
Oh, dude, The Purge is arguably my favorite modern horror.
There's a lot to it,
Oh,
there's a lot of social commentary there.
Dude.
Hey, there'd be one night a year if you could manage to kill your boss, you can get away with it.
I like my boss. I don't want to kill my boss.
Is The Purge on Halloween? It seems like that'd be an efficient way to kill two birds with one stone.
Right? Well, that would ruin trick-or-treating. Greetings, Steve.
Oh, that's true.
Welcome back. It's another episode of This Geek and Comics, our Geekers Comic Book Shit Talk Show.
Shit Talk Show!
Yeah, that's why we shouldn't do The Purge on Halloween, because it would ruin trick-or-treating. There's absolutely no other reason why we shouldn't do The Purge.
I'm just saying, if there is going to be a purge, is there a day of the year that's most appropriate for it?
Yeah, my wife, I was watching this with Amazing Amanda, and I was like, is The Purge like on a Friday? Or are they expecting me to go to work the next day? You know what I mean? Or is it like just
it would be
a
considerate
Tuesday?
to like give you the weekend to get your shit back together.
Well, I don't know, because
Imagine-
it's like this pro-capitalist sort of angle to it, where no, Tuesday's probably the best day to go because people can go out and spend money on the weekend, and you don't want to have the whole city all destroyed for a Saturday night.
It's not going to be fixed between Tuesday and Friday.
They're gonna do some stuff.
I guess.
Anyway.
But it would be really awkward that whole week. You'd have to work across from somebody that you tried to kill the day earlier in the
College
week.
Humor did a good sketch about that, where like somebody like stabs someone on like 11:59 on church night, and then like the clock rolls over, and it's like, you just fucking stabbed me. It was the purge. I was purging.
Exactly, It was the purge.
We're gonna purge.
You know what? Andy might be onto something there. That actually might be fucking canon in this damn thing.
No, because then you have like the drunken rednecks.
That's the best part of the purge. Is the drunken redneck.
No.
Anyway, segment 1. I didn't watch shit this week. Old horror movies, but Taylor, did you go see BA?
I did go see BA.
And I haven't seen it. I have no real interest in this. I'm very happy to wait the month and a half for it to stream. But yes,
I think you're okay to wait the month and a half, but I did think it was a lot of fun.
Cool. I heard the word I'm hearing is average. It's like every other superhero, kind of like a boilerplate sort of thing.
It kind of reminds me of like the type of movies they made more so in like the 90s and the 2000s.
I have never watched any of the Purge movies.
Quit interrupting the Black Adam. We'll get to Andy's Purge.
Purge is worth a watch, but Black Adam, I would say, it's a fun way to spend a few hours, especially if you're not having to pay to see it. They did take some of Black Adam's edge out of this a little bit.
Really? Wow. Because the Rock was really pushing to be like...
Oh, they kill a lot of people.
Oh,
but
okay,
like PG-13 killing, so it's like...
Well, Superman kills a lot of people fighting Zod. I mean, hundreds
of
people but were hurt or murdered.
It's more graphic here, but not enough to get that R rating. But
it would have been awesome.
The reason why I say they kind of took his edge off a little bit is like he quickly like befriends a small kid like soon after he wakes up. And,
White Adam, right?
But
from the comic, that's not me talking shit. That's from a fucking comic that's currently going. I didn't read
and this one's, I guess, a bit of a mild spoiler, but like in the comics, he killed his nephew to get the powers.
Right.
But here he got his powers from his son, and then his son died after giving the powers because he had left himself vulnerable or whatever. So
it leaves like this heroic...
Not blood on his hands, yeah.
Oh, lame.
He's less overtly villainous than, which, Black Adam is one of the more morally gray characters, but he is definitely more on team villain than hero, and you can't really say the same about this, which I get that they're trying to make him more of like a, they want to have like a franchise around this guy, and, I get that they're doing that, but overall, that is true that with the, post-credit scene, they did have Henry Cavill back as Superman.
And this is the worst fucking kept secret. I mean,
it is.
The DC Twitter basically spoiled it before the movie came out. It was more promo than spoiler.
Yeah,
that's
it's interesting from like
for me, bro.
It's interesting from like a contract politics point of view, but Superman showing up itself is nothing outrageous from like an in-universe perspective. But that being said, though,
I mean, it is kind of a statement though that Cavill is back as Superman. They're going to do Man of Steel 2. That's the rumor right now, and we still have lots of questions. Okay, you can't have this comparison that is so easy to make between Marvel and DC, MCU, DCEU, whatever that is now with Pattinson and these offshoot Joker movies. Just saying. But when Marvel does a thing, they're like, hey, here's what we're doing for the next 3 to 5 years. When DC does a thing, it's like, man, we got to do some Flash reshoots.
It does seem like
Batwoman is canceled. Batgirl's canceled.
So the lack of a plan is definitely a hindrance over at the DC side of things. But anyway, just for this movie, though, I would recommend it. I don't necessarily think you need to rush out to see it if you're okay waiting a month. But when it does come out on HBO, it's a good way to kill a few hours. It's a good popcorn movie.
I like Morbius.
Morbius actually wasn't good, but it wasn't terrible.
It got way too much shit.
Like, people were ripping into it like it was the worst thing ever, but it wasn't any worse than those Venom movies.
It's does it just for Matt fucking Smith.
Matt Smith is a delight in those
even when
movies.
he's chewing the scenery, dude.
Him chewing the scenery is the best part of the movie.
When
he's dancing in the mirror, that is legitimately my favorite scene in the movie.
Best. It's the best. When he finally starts macking on hoes and that, it's great, dude. I love that shit. Dave, did you do anything this week worth mentioning?
I watched Andor.
Oh, you know
what?
Are
y'all caught up?
I am not caught up. Like I said, I didn't watch. I still haven't watched the Rings of Power finale.
When we get to the last episode of Andor, we should have like a big like series and review thing.
All right, we'll do that.
But this week's episode of Andor was another one of those slow ones.
It was more of the political thriller kind of deal.
We have the beat now. It's 2 episodes of nothing and then 1 episode of everything.
Yeah.
Or I should say 2 episodes of build-up. I do like the build-up. I do like the slow burn to this, but it really builds up to like these explosions of action.
Yeah,
I kind of think that the early rebellion guys, the people that are establishing the rebellion, are pretty dark.
Well, sure,
that's the point. That's the exact point.
Exactly, dude.
These are like.
Gomer, did you see last week's episode? Episode 6?
No, I am 2, maybe 3 behind, dude.
All I'll say about it for now then is that it does show that like if we didn't know better, we might not know these are the good guys. You know? I
love that, dude. You gotta do.
Although this episode we get to see what shitbags the Empire are, but you know. I like how they're not running away from the fact that these guys are doing terrible things for their good cause.
They don't. That's why they call it terrorists.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, I mean, give Luke Skywalker all the props you want. This dude literally destroyed like an aircraft carrier. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
that would be like the comparison. He'd be like some dude in the Middle East who takes out an aircraft carrier. It's the same thing.
So all the stuff that like you could praise Rogue One for, that definitely carries over to this show. And I guess that's enough to say about it for now.
I really like the slow burn of Andor, but man, the internet has calmed down.
From this episode, there's almost nothing to talk about, honestly.
Yeah, the internet's calling people who aren't enjoying this show like ADHD, like. You don't like the slow burn, so there's nothing there to capture your attention.
I want to go that far. I mean, this is honestly
mean. That's mean, dude, and ableist in the worst fucking kind of way. And it's like, damn, it's okay not to like a thing, man. Fuck.
Whether by design or by accident, I think, Gomer, you are taking the best way to approach this show, which is to let a lot of episodes come out and just knock them all out at once.
Honestly, if
this is a better streaming experience than it is a week in the week.
If we weren't talking She-Hulk every week on this show, I would have waited on She-Hulk at least 2 or 3 weeks, to have a few episodes to watch. Because I just think that's the better way to watch. All right, let's do news. Really glad you did that. Yeah, I need to catch up. There's so much to watch. We're starting with some business news. Lunar.
Hello?
Are you there? Can you hear me?
Are you there? Yeah, and I can hear you now.
Oh, can you not hear him earlier? I could.
He faded out.
Oh man, that must be on you, bro. It's that Portland internet.
Well, whatever. Lunar distribution.
Yeah, Lunar has added 2 new publishers. Now they have 16. They've added Mad Cave, which is all right. They got some good stuff, but they've also added Black Mask, which has had some. Some of my favorite.
Well, Black Mask has had some good stuff in the past, but current Black Mask is not up to par.
100%. So they, as we all know, Lunar started distributing DC Comics early in the pandemic. They had 2 distributors then, as you know, Diamond shut down because of the pandemic. So they have now Ahoy, Artists Elite, Clover Press, CEX, Floating World, Legends, Merc, Oni, Silver Sprocket, Sumerian, Uncivilized, Vault, and now Mad Cave and Black Mask. This is a who's who of the smaller press. Okay, This is where the up-and-comers are at. This is where people get their jobs in the comic book industry. And I don't know. It's really cool that Lunar is the choice now for these distributors. It only makes it harder on the stores, Sure, it gives them some choices, but I don't know how much it impacts us. You know what I mean? The shops are still going to get the books that we order. Nothing on that. Awesome. Moving on.
Well, I mean, there's not much to say.
I know. It's just how about Lunar coming up? Right? We all kind of talk shit when they were like, "Oh, DC, come on."
Yeah.
Well, I mean, they lost DC, and that is obviously like a huge loss. I mean, that's one of the big two. Yeah,
half the market. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, they are doing a job, kind of cornering the indie market.
Yeah, good for them. All right, moving on. Con. There's a new convention in town, an immersive X-Men convention. Will let fans live the mutant life in a makeshift X-mansion. All right.
All right.
Next year, you go to Minneapolis, Minnesota. You can attend panels, photo ops, meet and greets with X-Men celebrities. But also, it's taking place in a setting modeled after the Xavier School.
Wow.
So it's sort of like this LARPing thing as well. Right?
That definitely looks like it could be the school. I mean, they got the architecture down pretty well.
It doesn't look bad. You know, it doesn't look
I mean,
bad.
I wouldn't, if you show me a picture of this, I wouldn't immediately think, oh, look, they're at the Xavier School. But like, if you told me, hey, this is the Xavier School, I'd be like, yeah, okay, I could see that.
Yeah. So they're calling it the Uncanny Experience cosplay contest, obviously.
Yeah.
I'm hearing Chris Claremont is going to fucking be there. And they're going to get people from the X-Men animated series, X-Men 97, like the new one. They're going to get them there. So that's cool. Everybody gets a student ID badge. Thanks to, I don't even remember who said it on Facebook, but we should go there and protest. Give them the real experience. Muty, go home. Yeah, dude. Andy,
actually,
check that out, bro. You should check that out, dude. That'd be fun.
That would be actually a pretty solid touch. Yeah, from like, if they wanted to like give you like the real experience of being the X-Men, they probably should hire a bunch of people to be a bunch of bigots outside protesting.
I'll do it for a trip to Minneapolis. I'll just hang out and then I'll go out.
Any excuse to be a bigot, huh, Gomer?
Well, for mutants, for LARPing purposes, yeah, for LARPing.
This is the only way Gomer's going to go to a convention.
Yeah, I hate conventions. And I'm not even going. I'm going to stand outside and protest. All right, let's get into
in Minnesota, though, that would be pretty fucking cold.
It just depends on when it is.
Depends on the time of year.
True enough.
Yeah, summertime is fairly nice.
But yeah, nice thing about the...
I have it, because I'm the news person. I have it. September 16th and 17th of next year.
Okay, so that should be...
period between fall and winter, yeah.
I don't know. They got snow. They got snow sometimes that time
but, of year. No, Minnesota's nice during the summertime.
Nice thing about the costume contest is you could just come up with, like, any weird monster out.
Yeah. Yeah, you could do so much.
Want.
Yeah. Oh, no. Man, your shit's
his internet's going out, too.
It's going to be fallish. Fallish. It might be chilly. It
might be elvish.
Yeah. So, Taylor, you were breaking up, man. Maybe drop out, come back in. But we're going to talk about Miles Morales. There's a new villain being debuted, Cody Ziegler and Federico Vicentini, brand new, whatever they call it, artists. What are they calling those? The hot guns, the shotguns,
young guns.
They don't call it that anymore. What do they call them now?
You got me.
Got a new name for them. Anyway, we talked about it on the show. Thanks for listening, Dave.
I'm not here every show.
Well, you could listen though to the show after. At work while you're doing work.
I can. I do. I'm behind.
The new villain is called Rabble. This symbol here, this star-shaped symbol, appears to be very important. I don't know anything about that except for that. The character will be introduced in issue number 1, but we'll get full, issue number 2, and I'm pretty sure we'll have a cover on issue number 3. So that will be the first cover. So those are 3 hot specs. Andy listens after. Thanks, Andy. I appreciate it.
I don't follow Miles Morales a whole lot.
It's the best Spider book.
Does he have like a rogues gallery like Spider-Man does?
Yes.
Peter Parker?
I don't know if he's been along. See, the thing about quote unquote a rogues gallery, it has to be like a lot of times. You know what I mean? Like, you can't just fight one guy one time and be like, all right, that dude's in my rogues gallery.
Yeah,
no, but you have to fight Joker like 100 times, and then, okay, Joker's definitely in the rogues gallery.
But I don't have any villains coming to mind when I think of Miles Morales.
Exactly, not a lot of villains. But Spider-Man, Batman, Those are the top two, where they're almost defined by their villains. You know, their origin story sure defines them the most, but I would say second for both of those characters. Their rogues gallery defines them more than anything else they got going on.
I'm not sure about that, but I do agree that they definitely have very important and very memorable rogues galleries. But like you were saying a second ago, though, like the vast majority of Batman villains they introduced, like especially back in like the 50s and 60s, were just like one and done. You have to have a little bit of you have to have some staying power before they're really
Egghead has staying power. They didn't give him the juice. Anyway, we were saying about the Miles Morales series from Cody Ziegler and Federico Vicentini. December 7th, we're going to get a new villain introduced named Rabble. That's really all we know. First appearance will be issue 1, probably a cliffhanger. Issue 2 will get a lot more detail. And then issue 3 appears to be the first cover. That's really hitting spec kind of hard, right? But, man, I'm down. I'm really down for this series, and it's cool that they're letting a little bit more out of the bag about what's actually going to go down in this book. You know what I mean? I'm
whet our appetites a little bit.
Yeah, she's going to take Miles down. I'm stoked. That's in February. That'll be a whole nother year. Taylor will love this. Flash 1 Minute War special explains new Speed Force villains known as the Fraction, which is a great name for a fucking Speed Force villain. The Flash moves to twice monthly, Taylor.
Oh, gracious.
Schedule in 2023 and starting with the 1 Minute War arc. Now, what that tells me, I haven't even gotten into this event, right? But what that tells me is Flash is the most fucking consistent book at DC Comics. It may not sell top 5. When you have 8 Batman books, it's a little hard. But I guarantee you it is consistently in the top 10. And they just keep throwing whoever the fuck they want at it, and it keeps selling. And it's good. You know, it's fun.
This week's issue was a lot of fun. I'll probably talk about it a little bit later. But looks like are they like shifting perspective between the different Flashes? Is that what the image here is telling me? Because that could be down for that.
Well, it's definitely going to be an all-in Flash sort of thing in this 1 Minute War. All right, so the 1 Minute War arc kicks off in issue 790, and then following that, there's going to be a part 2 of the arc in Flash 791. And then there will be a one-shot called 1 Minute War Special number 1, a double-sized one-shot. So they're going to get you for, it sounds like they're going to get you for 3 Flash issues in 1 month, which isn't all that bad. You know, it's not that
too
terrible
bad,
of a thing. Again, Batman got like 8 fucking books. Okay.
True enough, yeah.
So it's an armada of aliens known as the Fraction, who are also connected to the Speed Force. This means Flash family's usual advantage, moving so fast their enemies are in slow motion, is nullified because the Fraction move just as fast. The story arc will also feature the return of Barry Allen to Earth Zero after all this Dark Crisis bullshit. The 1 Minute War. This is my favorite part of this fucking thing. The 1 Minute War literally takes place in 60 seconds of real time. But for speedsters, that can just be forever. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that is a very interesting concept, right? Like,
are they going to do that through the book and say, okay, second 1, you know?
That'd be a good way to approach it, yeah.
Oh, that's fucking cool, dude. That is so cool. And the villainous Miss Murder is hunting the Flash family, too. There you go. She's been hanging out, I think, for a minute. So, yeah, dude, this is exciting. I love this cover. This is a really dope cover. So, yeah, man, I know you're the big Flash guy. I just pick up on it until Adam comes back. But, man, I am really excited to get in on
this should be a lot of fun. I'm definitely looking forward to it.
Yeah, Andy down for more Flash. Fuck yeah. All right, more good news, Taylor. Michael Straczynski is returning to Thor. If we'll all remember the final pages of Donny Cates, and we're going to talk about Donny Cates, you know, before the end of this story. He had like a picture of Thanos with a bunch of dead people, and he had Mjolnir with all of the fucking Infinity Stones in it. Remember that shit?
I do.
Thanos is dead. They killed him. Kieran Gillen killed that dude just like 6 or 7 months ago. So I don't know what JMS is doing, but he's coming back to Thor to tell that story. And see, there it is. There's that panel. And then here's the the close up.
Well, yeah, that definitely whets my interest.
Note.
Like anytime J. Michael Straczynski is involved in anything, it at least gets like a second look from me.
Yeah.
And yeah, this could be a very interesting turn. I am surprised that Donny Cates is not writing the thing that he's been teasing for so long.
That's my thing. All right.
That's a hell of a person to have step in and do it. I'm not complaining, but like I'm just surprised that he's not seeing it through.
Like, what does this mean for Donny Cates at Marvel? I mean, his Hulk run is popcorn fun. His Thor run is only good because I've been waiting to get to this moment, and now it's like, wait, he's not doing it.
He must
I don't
be
know.
doing something else.
That is peculiar.
I mean, he's got nothing planned though, dude. He's got nothing planned.
I don't know if this is like editorial
shenanigans
or something.
I'm hoping he's not sick.
Hope not.
Because where's crossover at, Dave?
It's been a while. It's been a hot minute.
He's doing Vanish right now, but from what I've heard, that first arc, maybe up to the second arc of Vanish, has been written for a while, and he's just been waiting on the art. So yeah, I really hope the best for Donny Cates, but it doesn't seem like the dude is in. I mean, Image Comics, shit like that, they don't do art like Marvel. Like Marvel, they're handing in art like 2 weeks before the book is due. 3 weeks. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They're handing in art really late. They're always on deadlines and stuff like that. So this seems to be catching up. This book drops on November 30th.
I mean, he could be taking a similar approach to how like Saga is done. He might be taking time off.
Well, sure.
It was accompanied with an announcement, though.
Exactly. There's no announcement. That's what I'm saying. But my thing is, well, how do you take time off from Marvel Comics? I mean, these are dream jobs. You're writing fucking Hulk and Thor. Are you kidding me? You're writing Hulk and Thor. You just don't take off from that, dude.
And they don't wait for you.
And they don't wait for you. No,
that is what's going on here. Yeah,
they have to push Hulk and Thor books out.
This story has to end. Yeah, so.
Yeah, they have to push those books out every month. So, and there was already a delay with the whole Hulk Thor mashup book. Remember that?
Yeah, there was a huge time off there. Yeah,
time off there, dude. I'm just telling you, everything seems to be pointing to Donny Cates is got something going on.
I hope it's nothing, too serious for him.
Yeah, for sure. But this is going to be an exercise issue. Obviously, J. Michael Straczynski's got to get paid. So it's going to have a framing sequence by Gronbeck, DeVito, and David Curiel. Jeff Shaw's involved. Dean White's involved. There's also the bar at the end of the line by Stark, Slim, and Don Ho. That might be good. Israel Silva's getting in on some work there.
Like Kyle Stark?
Yeah.
Oh.
Cantwell, Foreman, and Rachel Rosenberg are going to be involved in the story. So it's sort of like a Thor anthology. But in my experience, if you're going to get an anthology book, the Thor anthology books are always the best one to get. I honestly believe that everybody who has ever wanted to be a comic book writer has one Thor story in them. And if they get the chance to do it, it's going to be fucking great.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
But yeah, correct me if I'm wrong. This is the first time J. Michael Straczynski's done anything with Marvel for a while, right?
JMS has been involved in so much TV shit lately. It's really hard to keep track of how his career's going.
I know he's been doing that like a bunch of indie books, but I don't think he's written for the big two in a very long while.
That's what I'm saying. They threw him some cash, dude. That's why I honestly think there is something. You don't get somebody like JMS to come back and write Thor unless something's going on with your Thor book.
I mean, that is welcome news, but I do hope it's nothing too serious for Mr. Cates.
The thing about it is Donny Cates is like at the height of his game right now.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
crossover is hot. Vanish was fucking hot. Wait till those numbers come out later this week.
He was in a name your project type of situation after finishing up with King in Black and all that.
Right. And you also got to respect him as a writer because look at the books he's taken. He took Hulk after arguably, I won't argue it because I agree, the best Hulk run of all time, and took over Jason Aaron's run on Thor, basically. Again, arguably, I won't argue it because it's my favorite run of Thor forever, except for maybe JMS's, right?
I mean, JMS had a hell of a run, but either way, whether or not you want to put the rankings where you want, but he definitely stepped into an iconic, generation-defining Thor run, if nothing else.
Yeah. Oh,
and I would agree, the best ever.
Yeah. Man. JMS had a hard job because he brought Thor back after Decimation, or after Disassembled. You know what I mean? After the Ragnarok, he had a lot of work to do. But man, I loved it. Anyway, moving on. Shang-Chi news. Gene Luen Yang's Shang-Chi saga finally comes to an end in January. Newly announced an oversized 40-page one-shot titled Shang-Chi Master of the Ten Rings. So yeah, there you go. It's going to be drawn by Michael Ying and features 2 covers by Jim Chung and DK Ruan. This is the Chung cover, obviously. I didn't get the Ruan cover. I couldn't find it.
Well, I mean, if you have Jim Chung, you use Jim Chung.
Yeah, you use Jim Chung. So, it goes on sale January 4th.
What an intriguing run this has been.
It really has been.
Technically, it's been like 6 or 7 books now.
I am going to do the math, dude. I was going to do it for this, but I really should have put some shit together and put a little bit of extra work in there. Looking at all of Yang's runs on Shang-Chi. Because, he's taken this character from just working at a restaurant, and then he's somehow like
the head of
the head of
the super mafia.
Yeah, dude, the head of the super mafia. And then there were still ring fingers. And then he changed it to the movie like on the fly. Like, oh, fuck this. Hell no. I'm not going to let this movie change it. I'm changing it. And he did that through, like you said, 6 different volumes of Shang-Chi. How do you even collect that in an omnibus? I have no fucking clue. I have no clue at all. All right, Dave, I'm sorry. A lot of that has been for Taylor and me. All of it's for me because I dig all this shit.
That's fine. I enjoy listening to you guys talk.
I got you now, bro.
Ooh.
Inferno Girl Red. And I have actually a bit of trivia here.
Is this from the Massive Universe?
This is massive.
Okay.
Massive Universe. It's going to expand in January with a book called Inferno Girl Red. Eric D'Urso and Matt Groom. And I mean, it's just another book. But can you name all of the books in the Massive Universe?
Okay, there's The Dead Lucky.
All right, that's
there's
1.
Radiant Black, Rogue
That's 2,
Sun.
3.
There's
2 more Radiants.
There's Radiant Red, right?
Oh, Taylor coming out. The Dark Horse picking one up. And then Radiant Pink somehow, because it's Power Rangers.
Yeah, but it wasn't called like Radiant Pink.
No, that's what they said. They said it was Radiant Pink.
Well,
was it called Radiant Pink?
No, I don't think it was.
So, dude, do you remember a book called Cowl?
That sounds vaguely familiar.
It was Cowl, like C.O.W. Like it stood for something.
Yeah, that does sound
That's in the Massive Universe.
What?
I'm reading it in the press release from Image Comics. I have copy and pasted into my notes. Yes, Cowl is in the Massiveverse. I got to go back and read Cowl now because I remember reading it, but I want to make the connections to everything that's been going on since Radiant Black dropped, dude. That's amazing, isn't it?
That is.
Yeah, man. So, a new school, new relationships, new possibilities for any teenager. Big moves are both challenging and exciting, but it's something else entirely for Cassia Costa in Inferno Girl Red. So, this does sound like it's an all ages sort of young readers sort of angle they're taking here. Just saying. But that's good. That shows how stable this universe is. If it can push to other age groups, and I mean, you are still following this Massiveverse, right?
Yeah, I am.
Okay.
I am. I'm actually looking up Cal right now.
Oh, see, look at him. I this motherfucker like a squirrel. Wait, Cowl? I want to move on to the Archie news. That's right. We have Archie news. There's a new book called Archie versus the World. It's Archie meets Fury Road.
That's what it looks like?
That's exactly what it is.
He looks like a JoJo character.
Yeah. For this art, let me see who's doing this fucking cover, man. It's Jed Doherty doing the cover. The art interiors are going to look just like this.
The Chicago Organized Workers League?
Cowl. Yeah. It said it was part of the Massiveverse. This is the first time I'm hearing about this.
That's like 2016.
I know. It says it right here in the fucking thing. We need to go back and read it.
I have to. I'd have to go back and dig up some books.
Yeah. Anyway, back to Archie. Future, and it's not great. Archie versus the World in January. It's going to be written by Aubrey Sitterson, favorite around here.
Hey,
talks a lot of shit on Twitter and should not.
he
But
goes
anyway,
through a
and
lot
Jed
of trouble
Doherty.
to promote Jeff Lemire books.
Well, you should. Jeff Lemire's fucking amazing.
Man, I mean, we should all be promoting Jeff Lemire.
I am. You wait. It's coming. It's coming. Anyway, Archie versus the World is unlike anything we've ever done, both visually and in terms of the story itself. That's from a dude at Archie Comics named Jamie Rotante.
This is going. I there's something. It reminds me of something now, and if I
what
talk
does
about it, this whole Archie versus the World.
Yeah.
Oh,
that's the low press street.
Do you know the rapper MC Chris?
I know the name, yeah, but I don't think I've ever listened to any of his music.
One of his albums was called Race Wars.
Oh, okay.
And it was a futuristic, post-apocalyptic wasteland where gasoline and spare parts were in abundant supply, but marijuana
so was Mad Max. All right,
Mad Max, yeah.
But marijuana was in short supply.
Oh, okay. So
I'm just looking like it. I'm looking at like Betty and Veronica, and there's a bit that goes with it, and I'm just thinking of that bit right now.
Yeah. So this looks good. Archie,
this looks really dumb, but fun.
We talked about this the other day, man. Archie always does better when it's doing different. When they're hanging out with
when they
Ramones.
take risk, Archie's is great.
They take risk. They hang out with the Ramones.
The quote-unquote default Archie stuff is like, I'm not going to say, I'm going to knock it because like it is like timeless. An American institution. Yeah,
exactly.
I have fondness for it, but when they do these bonkers like horror stories, now they're doing like a fucking Mad Max thing, they can be a real trip.
Yeah, man.
They are.
Yeah. And I love Aubrey Sitterson. He's fucking nuts. He's crazy.
Plus, Aubrey Sitterson did a really good No One Left to Fight book.
No One Left to Fight was good.
Action.
The best part about that book is they never actually fought.
Yeah.
It was like up until the end, and even then it was kind of like a faux fight, But it was all about fighters. But they never really fight. They just kind of talk about it the whole time. It was like Dragon Ball.
It's like Goku and Vegeta just become really good buddies. Yeah, never have the fight.
Yeah.
So like Dragon Ball, instead of yelling while they power up, they just like work through their emotional issues.
Yes.
Right. Aubrey Sitterson wrote one of my favorite G.I. Joe runs, and he was going to Cobra La. He was on his way to taking this book to Cobra La, and it never panned out because cancel culture. But whatever. I'm just kidding. It really wasn't cancel culture. Let's do food news.
Yummy.
That's me buying into Leroy's propaganda.
Where are you at?
All right, food news. My Phillies, the Fighting Phils. I was born in Allentown, Pennsylvania. I grew up with my grandfather, just cheering for this thing on the television. I wasn't an athlete. I really wasn't into
You don't say.
Later on in life, I did become more aware of how sports works just so I could fit into society. While I don't watch baseball anymore, dude, will you quit abusing your cat?
I'm not abusing my cat.
We're going to get freaking calls, man.
Your cat disagrees, David, you asshole.
Dude. She did not let me put her up, and now she's in here because I'm talking to people, and she is wanting attention now.
Oh, my God, David. Anyway.
All right, so this year, in celebration of my Phils going to the World Series earlier today, Taco Bell, our favorite food news, the one that started it all, the restaurant that started it all, Steal a Base, Steal a Taco is back. It's back. So if anybody during the World Series steals a base, Taco Bell will buy everybody in the whole fucking country a taco.
Wow.
Everybody.
Man, I do always like it when they do these promotional things. Like the Predators have a thing where, like, if they score 4 goals, you get a Frosty.
That's lame.
Fuck you! It's a local treasure. Fuck you.
Is it 4 goals in one game, or is it 4 goals accumulated?
We even chant, "We get Frosties" at the games. You fucking killjoy.
We used to do that during the National Knights games too, but it was something else. It wasn't as cool as it was like corn dogs or something. It was.
Yeah, I mean, at some point during the World Series, it's likely that someone's going to steal a base. So yeah,
they always try.
Tacos, I guess.
There's always an opportunity where they're like, okay, it's up. let's
wasn't
go
there like
for
only
it.
only one World Series game where no bases were stolen?
Why don't you? You're the statistics guy. Well, ask the question and then look.
Dave,
it up
just
and
look it
answer
up
the
later,
question.
man. But anyway, David, quit abusing your cat.
I'm not abusing my cat. She's just sitting here crying because I'm not petting her.
Oh, then pet her for fuck's sake.
Oh my goodness. Anyway, so yeah, watch the World Series, root for the Phillies.
It's great promotion for Taco Bell. I mean, I'm sure they'll make it a commercial as soon as it happens, you know?
Oh, they probably have one already in the can.
Player B, stole a base, and now you get tacos, you know, that sort of shit.
Right, so you may hate baseball, you may hate Taco Bell, so that might be the bad one, but I doubt it. Eggo, the waffle company made famous in Stranger Things. Oh my God, it's hard to do the show, all right? Because I feel like there's animal abuse going on. I have to report you.
Damn it, David.
Eggo has teamed up with local Gatlinburg, Tennessee-based craft distillery, Sugarlands Distilling Company, for the creation of the brand's first ever Eggo Nog, a rich eggnog liqueur for the holiday season. I hate every fucking thing about this.
That's a lot that they're throwing together all at once there. Like, even like the eggnog liqueur was kind of a bit of a stretch on its own. And now we also have Eggo in here for some reason.
Yeah, why is Eggo getting involved?
I don't understand Eggo. It's not something I associate with eggnog.
So here it is. I'll tell you. Eggo Nog Appalachian Sipping Cream is a rum-based liqueur with cinnamon and nutmeg. According to Eggo, it's always according to Eggo. Right? Like, who else would say it? You know, according to some dude.
They are our most trusted news source. Yes.
Yeah. The beverage, quote, pairs perfectly with Eggo thick and fluffy waffles to help you feel cozy all winter long.
Bullshit. They just wanted to go for the pun.
I know. They wanted the pun. Really? The pun. The pun. Eggo.
Look, maybe this does pair well, and I don't dislike Eggo waffles in particular,
but some, then. So you have to go to sugarlands.com/Eggo-Nog.
Now, this sounds like a David field assignment. And hey, David, if you don't want to do it, let us know.
Drive your $5 a gallon.
All right, David, if you don't tell us you're not going to do it, we're assuming you're doing it. Go.
I'm not going to do it.
Damn it. I thought you were still doing it with the cat. All right, but whatever.
She jumped up in my lap, and so I was like, this is a perfect opportunity to put her up.
You know, I wouldn't mind trying some of this, but I bet it's nasty.
So is this like moonshine?
No, it's sipping cream. Can you not read? I don't know what that is.
This is definitely on the bad side of the spectrum, but it's not as bad as some of the other shit. Like, I could see this being palatable, at least.
I would want to try this. There are things we've had on here where it's like, no.
There's some things that you have on here that are just utterly repulsive. Like, this is just kind of... This is more weird than gross, at least.
Yeah, you'd have to pay me.
Oh, okay.
What? Is this about stolen bases?
No.
Okay.
No,
you skipped that assignment.
I've been to the Sugarland.
Oh, well, you could go again. You have a rapport with them.
No.
You can just get us some sipping cream. That's how you have to say it too.
They'll be pulling into the driveway and they'll be like, "Oh, there's old Dave, our number one customer."
There's Dave coming to get his
You can essentially make alcoholic milkshakes with this.
Dude, it's eggnog with fucking rum in it.
It's practically an alcoholic milkshake on its own.
Yeah, who wants that? I just drink scotch straight up. Anyway, let's do comics. It was a banner week, I would say. This week. No, I'm just kidding. Man, honorable mention for Deadly Class 56, end of an era, kind of. You know, it feels like Remender Luffridge, Wesley Craig just dropped a fucking load on us with this book, and it was just great. Public Domain number 5 was dope by Chip Zdarsky, arguably, I don't think it's arguably, I think it's determined. Best comic book writer in the business right now because he writes Batman. This turned into a sitcom really, really quick, and it's awesome. It's better for it, you know.
Yeah.
Nightwing, I'm sure we'll mention, just another mind-blowing fucking issue. Shit, I even have a damn image for this. I doubt this is going to be on anybody's list, but this is my actual number one honorable mention. X-Force number 33 by Ben Percy and Robert Gill, listed wrong in Diamond, just saying. One of the most disturbing fucking images of Deadpool ever captured. He got his head cut off, so he's regrowing his body, but he's wearing a black Tom Krakoan super suit. And what the fuck did I just say? A
Man.
black Tom Krakoan super suit.
You gotta try hard to like still shock us with Deadpool at this
Oh, it's
point. I mean, he's done
amazing.
everything, but this one is eye-catching to be sure.
Oh, this is timeless. This will be shared around in memes and shit forever. It's perfect, but yeah, that had to be my actual.
They might try to even
honorable
work
mention.
this into a Deadpool 3 now.
Oh, they should. They so should. But this is kind of odd for me. Spider-Man, Deadly Neighborhood #1, Taboo, B. Earl, Juan Ferreira. This was pleasantly surprised. Story is kind of a fever dream. It jumps around a lot. Huh?
The artwork is
this your number 3?
Yeah, this is my number 3.
The artwork is really good in this. I like the artwork.
Yeah,
the story, like you said, the story does jump around quite a bit.
Yeah.
But the dream sequences are unbelievable.
This is the kind of art we're getting to. It's not just the fever dream, which we saw in the preview show last week, but look at the design work here. It's so well done, dude. This has got like 5 or 6 different layers to it. And it's just so
I love the web coming out of the panel and everything, too.
Dude, but look at the bottom when he's jumping across the building. The sequential art within the sequential art is just brilliant. I mean, Juan Ferreira is just putting on a show with this. But yeah, this was like an MC Escher on LSD. But I like it when comics push boundaries. Comics can be all of the things. You know, that's the great thing about comics. And this does that very, very well. So, yeah, Andy enjoyed Deadly Neighborhood. Awesome. Yeah,
I confess I did not give this a second look at the shop. I guess I missed out.
And again, the story isn't great, but man, it was a show.
When it was like, you know, it's the 2 guys from Black Eyed Peas and not the 2 people you know from Black Eyed Peas like writing the book. I thought, okay, I don't think I'm gonna pick up this one this week, but foolish of me.
But all of my honorable mentions this week could have been number 3. It was a really tight week for good comics. 2 books definitely stood out, but I wanted to mention Deadly because I thought it was not going to get a mention otherwise. Taylor, honorable mention.
I'll throw in an honorable mention for the Flash number 787. We were talking about how I love this book earlier. This was such a fun issue because he gets involved in a fucking interdimensional wrestling match.
Yeah, a
tag team championship with like basically like alien Macho Man Randy Savage shows up and they end up having a bunch of tag team brawls and it is so dumb, but it's so fun.
Yeah,
like
cool.
There's a lot of big frenetic energy with all the body slams and like things like that, and just it was a real hoot. Just love that shit. Also throw an honorable mention for Nightwing number 97.
Oh, that's only an honorable for you. You could tell it was a good week because this issue was fucking outstanding.
Yeah, this was really good. I especially enjoyed what's his name? The
Heartless?
No. The Mob Boss guy. Marconi? Is that who this was?
Oh, yeah. Maroney, yeah.
Maroney. He goes from like being, the big bad schmuck to being like, by the way, and he gets like shat on the whole rest of it.
Optimus Prime tries to murder him for some reason.
Oh yeah, like the whole interstate fight scene was really good. The whole like Nightwing going Manhunter on people out in the woods was really fun.
Yeah, I love the cameo by Optimus Prime. It's my favorite. This is the most. I mean, you thought that Deadpool shit was disturbing. This is probably the most disturbing panel in all comics this week.
It's definitely pushing what they're gonna do in a book like Nightwing, where they're not really going for the gross out humor, you know.
But I mean, how about that fucking cliffhanger? Wait, what?
Oh yeah, that was so like, what the hell is happening?
And he's in a taxi in the middle of what?
Yeah. I'm looking forward to whatever the fuck Tom Taylor has in store for that, you know.
And superhero sexy time, which was
superhero sexy time.
Yeah,
like I was only unconscious for 3 hours, and these ceilings are thin.
Yeah, it's like I mean, this book had everything and Optimus Prime cameo. Just saying, I should have been my number 1 if this book wasn't retired. Should have been my number 1.
One last shout out for the cover on this book, which was beautiful. The whole thing with the silhouettes and the cityscape behind them. This is a iconic cover.
Yeah, if we're doing best of the year, at the end of the quarter, yeah, dude, this is up there. This is up there.
Yeah. Well, my actual number 3 is X-Men number 16.
Good call.
This is continuing the stuff with the Children of the Vault. It's a Forge going in to infiltrate and everything. He's got a Caliban suit on, so that's good fun. The main reason this makes my number 3, though, and it was kind of a thin margin over Nightwing, I love the fucking messy drama between the Summers brothers in this issue.
And how they drawing Havoc with his headbands.
Yeah.
Oh man, it was wild.
But like when Scott's like, I didn't want you on this team. Forge put you on this team to spite me, and then they just Havoc loses it and punches him and fucks up. He has
they
one
make
of his
up by the end though.
Not really.
Well, as much as brothers do.
I suppose, but like it ends with him like going off to pout and like, you know.
Yeah.
I love the interpersonal relationships, and like, you know, it is a little hard when they have this rotating cast, which seems like it's going to be a thing every year to get in that character work while you can, and I think they're doing a good job with it here.
Yeah, Forge disturbed me in this, man. He got way too much power. Him dealing with Sinister now. These are cracks in the foundation of Krakoa, which were started from the beginning.
Yeah, I mean,
but
and we are
the fall of X.
Yeah, we are. I was about to say
we're Sinister.
We're building into the comeuppance part of all this.
Yeah, this book's leading directly into Sinister, showing up way too much for it not to mean a whole fucking lot.
Yeah,
Dave. Man, you probably got half a dozen honorable mentions.
Actually, I did kind of narrow it down.
Good.
All right. I wanted to give an honorable mention to Deadly Neighborhood Spider-Man, just solely on the art.
Nice.
It was pretty fantastic.
It is. It was so good. Go ahead. Great choice.
Next honorable mentions would go to Alien number 2 and Predator number 3.
See, I didn't grab Alien, but I did grab Predator. I thought you were only reading Predator.
I'm reading both.
Oh, nice. Look at you go.
Yeah.
That's a dope cover. I love that.
That is a dope cover.
Look at that cover.
Just a lot of good story progression in there. Nice. She beats another Predator pretty handedly too.
Nice.
And that's going to be it for my honorable mentions.
Oh, it was hard this week. There was a lot of books.
Yeah.
Really restraining yourself there, dude.
He is. Yeah, credit.
If you notice, the 3 honorable mentions are all Marvel.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
All right. My number 3 pick this week is Hellboy in Love, number 1.
Oh my God, I'm so glad I grabbed that cover. I knew it was going to be a long shot, but it was not bad at all.
It was not bad. Hellboy was asleep for the first portion of the comic book. This lady, she is she's working on her thesis, and she's carrying a suitcase that obviously some goblins want for some reason.
Yeah.
And now they're chasing them across the English countryside to get the suitcase back. And Hellboy is quite impressed with her knowledge of the supernatural.
Yeah. Kind of simple. It's the dialogue that wins it here.
Yeah, there's a lot. There's just a lot of going on.
It's just good, snappy Hellboy shit, man. Really good.
And, but damn, I was asleep.
He comes off as the badass, but then he'll get knocked in his place, for being a dumbass, because he kind of is, But yeah, just really good shit, man. Good choice. That was your number 3?
That was my number 3.
Man, I knew you'd like that, but I didn't think you'd like it that much, man. It was good. That comes back around to me. No other choice this week. Only one book could beat this out. Bone Orchard Mythos, 10,000 Black Feathers. Number 2 is my number 2. Jeff Lemire, Dave Stewart, and of course, Andrea Sorrentino. This is the best damn team in comic books. The pieces are being pushed more closely together. Is the story of youthful friendship centered around these 2 friends creating this role-playing game together.
Yeah, it's a very D&D element to it.
Yeah, there's got this very D&D element to it. But they move into their high school years, and Lemire is just perfect. He just has just the perfect amount of teen angst, between these 2 friends. But then, he just sort of breaks it back to the horror where there's a mysterious missing, the friend just mysteriously disappears.
The redhead.
Has
mysteriously disappeared because I'm going to drop a bomb on you. This is my number 2.
It's great, dude. This is my number 2. It's so good, man. Lemire, she's just doing amazing shit here. This book just sucks you in, but it's that Sorrentino artwork that just makes it so much more amazing. Just a perfect comic this week from them.
When we're dealing with
10,000 number 1, excellent choice, Andy. This shit is for real.
When we're dealing with them in their younger days, there's a different art style altogether, and then when it progresses to this to this
Then
element
it's
where
the
like the girl's
grainy
missing.
Sorrentino from
It's taking
Gideon
on that
Falls.
noir look.
From Gideon Falls, like that,
Oh,
that
yeah.
style he's got
But-
there. But most of it, minus the design work here, this is what all the other pages look like when they're younger. And it's just an amazing way to tell a story. You really feel this life-changing event, but we don't know exactly what the event is yet. We don't know what happened. Sure, she came up missing and was dead, but is it really that clear cut? Why is this RPG so important? You know, what is actually going on? And oh, it's great, dude.
Yeah, there's still a lot of connections that need to be made.
There's so much more to do here, but yeah, this book might be retired, man, after the next issue, because if it keeps going this good, it's just be, you know, a monthly hit, just bam, bam, bam through issue 5. But that's the Bone Orchard mythos for you. Hadn't had a bad page yet, not a bad page in all of it. So that was Dave's number 2 and my number 2. So we are up to number
2 for Taylor.
For Taylor, and then we'll just change the order. Go ahead, T. What's number 2 for you this week?
My number 2 this week is Defenders Beyond, number 4.
Nice, good choice. That art again, bro.
Yeah, that Javier Rodriguez art, especially when this story is taking us to all like the trippy, like narrative elements of the Marvel Universe. Like this one has more so the last Defenders.
Like exploring the universe.
Yeah, this is them going. It's like a backstage tour of the cosmology of the Marvel Universe. It's been a hell of a lot of fun, week or month to month, I should say, and Javier Rodriguez is like the only guy I can think of who can draw these trippy concepts and make them as fun and as engaging as they are here, you know?
He also makes them sequential. He's still telling stories, and their stories are progressing. He's truly a unique wonder in the way he does this. I hope they can find something else for him to do, some sort of Doctor Strange.
He would be a great fit for Doctor Strange, to be sure.
Yeah, dude. He is just a perfect fit.
There is a lot going on in this image.
Oh, dude, the whole book is like this. The whole book is like there's so much happening, but
and a lot of props to Al Ewing as well, because like he
knows his shit.
He has really researched. You have to be read up on Dan Slott's Silver Surfer run. You have to be pretty up to speed on that last Defenders run, and generally just know a lot about the Marvel Universe from like a meta narrative perspective to really appreciate a lot of this. Like, I love how this ends, the like final page leading the next issue. They're going to a place called the House of Ideas, and that's cheesy, but I love it. You know
why? Because in the competition there are houses too. You know, so like having houses in comics is sort of like this thing. So it's okay to have that, you know. But Ewing just knows where to put that balance, you know, between the cheese and the nostalgia, but also grabbing that meta part. But
like
the story in this is good.
He's like including it, and he's including it very lovingly, but he's not leaning on it.
Yeah,
like it's part of the story, not just like a wallowing in nostalgia going on. You know?
Ewing is again, he's doing a great job there, but this is like a Marvel Comics fan's comic book. And in order to write that, you have to be a fan. And that's the endearing part of it. Like, you can tell that Ewing is a fan. And there's no way to miss that the art on this is from a fan. You know what I mean? This is a book that's got a lot of heart in it, and you can just feel it. And I think that's the most redeeming quality of the book. It's just okay for me. But it has great parts. But, yeah, my favorite part of it is just how beautiful it is, you know?
Oh, yeah, it's my favorite part, too, for sure.
Excellent choice. Dave already spat off his number 2. It was Black Feathers.
Boneyard Mythos.
Sounds like we're back to you. And you haven't said it yet, so I think we might have the same number 1 this week.
We have to, man. GCPD. The Blue Wall, John Ridley, Stefano Raphael. It's basically a police procedural set on Gotham with a modern relevant twist that you'd expect from John Ridley. It's got social relevance to it, right? This follows, Renee Montoya, the new GCP police commissioner, but the primary focus is on 3 newly graduated rookies learning the ropes in the most crime-ridden city in comics, right? The ins and the outs of this are kind of subtle. You know, there's actual subtle racism going on and sexism and It's not really in your face. It's just sort of there as part of the sub narrative that
that's something that I thought was
so
really
hard into the main narrative.
Something that I think makes this
special.
book brilliant is that like they're doing such a good job presenting that the problem here is a system. The problem here is a environment. Like the one guy does use a slur at one point in the book. They even put like a disclaimer at the beginning of the book. But for the most part, the main thing they're having to push back against is like the cynicism of all the cops around them.
Yeah.
Like he doesn't like it would be so easy just to throw in like some cartoonishly corrupt cop and have that be like the foil to it. But that's not the case.
It's not.
They're having to fight back against something that's so much harder to deal with, which is the entrenched sort of cynicism of so many of the police around them, including Renee Montoya. She is deeply, bitterly cynical in this book, and it makes her a really compelling read.
Yeah, and they reach so deep into her character more. They always bring her brother into it, which I love, who's been her, her crutch throughout her life. One of the only crutches she's ever actually grabbed onto. Her putting the drink in front of her because she's an alcoholic. He didn't come out and say she's an alcoholic. If you picked this up and didn't know that Renee Montoya was an alcoholic, you would after reading this, but it's not an in-your-face sort of thing. That's the sort of example I would use to explain every fucking thing else going on in the book. It's so deep, but it's got almost no actual depth to it. It's all so subtle that it doesn't ask you to do anything but enjoy a police procedural the same way you'd enjoy something like NYPD Blue, or what was it, Gotham Central? That was kind of
I was about to mention the main thing I was looking forward to in this book is like it's going to scratch that itch that Gotham Central was scratching back in the day. Yeah. Love that book, but this is a great update of that, dealing with a lot of very pertinent issues to us in the 2020s.
Exactly. The most important thing, probably the thing at the forefront, is one of these recruits doesn't shoot a kid. That's the important part. Doesn't shoot a kid who's reaching in his pocket and end up reaching for a phone, right? So the powers that be convinced Renee Montoya that no, we need to make this person a hero because they did what was right in an age where things usually go the other direction. Again, Ridley grabbing onto real life headlines without actually putting it in your face, just saying, no, this is something that happens. There's no way you could argue with me that this isn't something that actually happens. You know what I mean? No matter what your political viewpoints are on that thing happening, it just happens. So then she has made this hero, but now she has this sort of trauma and guilt because she didn't actually do it out of any heroism. She did it because she was fucking scared. And that's the main fucking story going on.
That's a really compelling thing there. Yeah, because like she did the right thing, but not for the right reason. She sort of accidentally did the right thing. Yeah.
Yeah. But I mean,
and now she's being made into a hero for it.
Exactly. But is Ridley also not sort of holding up a mirror in the same context? And in this case, a literal mirror where when a police officer does shoot a kid who was just pulling for his cell phone, he's immediately frowned upon. You know what I mean? Immediately villainized. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm not sure what Ridley is doing here. A lot of
the other thing that I think is really
don't seem to jive with what I expect from him and his politics, which they're certainly injected into this.
Yeah. Well, one thing I thought was brilliant about it is like they got put into that situation in the first place because her partner was like, well, yeah, we're going to go hassle this kid. She was like, we don't have a good reason to. And it's like, we're just going to do it anyway. They told us to go look for kids like this, so let's go do it. Like,
but all of these also makes a good point that no, it's not our job. Our job is to go look for this.
Well, I mean,
DA's problem. But
again, it would be so easy to make everyone like cartoonish, right?
Yes.
But like,
yes,
the real villain here is that all these cops around them are like burnt out and cynical, and they're just kind of going along with what's expected of them.
Yeah.
And these rookies are getting pulled into it. They're still fresh enough that they aren't part of that problem just yet.
Yes.
And so like that one guy who's the parole officer, like the guy's all like, we're not going to fix anything by coddling these people.
We'll arrest him next week.
And we're reading that knowing that like you are not necessarily the individual to blame here, but you're perpetuating a system that is to blame here. Like, maybe you would get more people. It's
hard to blame them.
Yeah. Maybe, like, it definitely
sort of
is.
says that, But yeah, I thought this book was going to go full ACAB. You know what I mean? And
sorry, I got a tripped on something. I have to record out.
But I thought this book was going to go like full ACAB. You know, all out assault.
I'm impressed by the fairness,
exactly,
with which it is trying to present itself. You know,
Yeah.
it is trying to. We can all be pretty sure that John Ridley, you know, where he stands on the issue, but he is seemingly going above and beyond to have some empathy for the people who find themselves in this system.
Putting the blame on the system. Yeah, 100% agree. Yeah, this is going to be Eisner nominated 100% for sure. No doubt about it. No doubt about it. I can already tell. It's got Eisner's, it smells of Eisner. So that finishes up with Dave, his number 1 book of the week.
Want to take a guess?
No, go ahead.
Shaolin Cowboy.
Oh, man, I totally missed it this week. Damn it! There were so many good books. I can't believe I missed this.
I was not
I'm just now remembering that it come out.
I was not expecting a kaiju fight.
Oh man, I've got to go back.
Jeff Darrow delivers a kaiju fight.
That's awesome. Damn it!
And it's just Kung Fu Cowboy just kicking the shit out of this like lobster looking kaiju thing.
He's had lobsters throughout a lot of his shit.
Crabs.
One, but
there's a lot of sea life in there.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I love Shaolin Cowboy, and oh man, it delivered. You know, it's you get it for the art, and the art is Where's Waldo.
right.
And there's a kaiju fight in the middle of Where's Waldo.
Dude, that's awesome. Yeah, I am going back to read that. I was going to read a book coming out next week, but I won't. That's it for us, y'all. Speaking of books that are coming out next week, come back tomorrow. We're going to be talking about all the books that are coming out next week on the preview show just at the same time. So come check us out. We also would love it if you check out the Comic Book Bullies. They got a show coming up on this Facebook channel later on tonight. Very, very soon. Leroy and Eli talking mad pop culture shit. You know they're gonna be tearing up Black Adam. You know they're gonna be tearing down some horror movie. 'Tis the season. If you want more of that, go to outrightgeekery.com. We got a shit ton of links up there to everything we've got going on, everything the Bullies got going on. Also check out the Facebook group page. Go to Facebook, go to the group, search Outright Geekery. Go hang out over there. Always fun discussion with Andy kicking it and throwing people out. It's my favorite part when he throws people out. It's my favorite part. He posted a great one today about the group. It was really meta. It was really fun. It might have been a couple days ago. I just saw it today. I've been drunk all weekend. You mean this guy? Yeah, that guy. But yeah, man, thanks everybody for listening. We really appreciate it a lot. But most of all, thanks to these guys for hanging out with this guy.
Hell yeah.
Always fun.
We are going to do it again next time.
Same geek time, same geek channel.
Now David can go take care of his poor cat.
The first thing I was going to say when I shut it down, I was like, how is your cat? You got to put it